Hey everyone, welcome back to Iraqi Dinar Hub. Today we're taking a look at a story that's turning heads among longtime watchers of this topic. Many people who've followed this for years are calling this moment one of the biggest they've ever seen. After decades of monitoring every development, shift, and rumor, something new appears to be happening. The conversations around the Iraqi Dinar and Vietnamese Dong are shifting fast, with claims of new numbers popping up that have the whole community buzzing. And this isn't the typical online noise or recycled speculation. According to what's being shared, there are actual changes being noticed in real time, and the energy around this is unlike anything we've seen in a long while. Things are moving quickly, and what's being reported could mark the start of something major for both nations. Today, we're diving into what many are calling a historic moment. For more than 20 years, people have talked about the potential for both Iraq and Vietnam to undergo major economic transformation. These two countries have often been described by economists as sleeping giants, with rich resources and strong long-term potential, but slowed down by years of conflict and rebuilding. Now, in 2025, it feels like the shift that so many predicted might finally be happening. Reports of new figures appearing on internal banking platforms, numbers that push past anything previously expected, are creating a wave of excitement among those who track these currencies closely. At the same time, observers are pointing to official comments that seem to suggest long-term planning is finally reaching its final stages. This is being framed as more than a simple price movement. It's being viewed as the start of a new economic chapter for both countries, each beginning to step into a stronger position in the global marketplace. To fully understand why this moment matters, we need to look at how it all started. Back in the early 2000s, Iraq's currency went through massive changes after years of instability and reconstruction. The dinar, once valued differently, fell dramatically, becoming trapped mostly inside Iraq's borders. A lot of international analysts doubted it would ever rise again, but a group of dedicated followers believed differently. These were the people who stuck around even when the odds didn't look great. They watched as Iraq worked to rebuild its institutions, restore infrastructure, welcome new leadership, and strengthen its international partnerships. And now, after years of watching and waiting, those same people are seeing their long-held beliefs being echoed in real conversations again. A currency they've followed for so long is suddenly at the center of global speculation, and at values most didn't imagine just a few years ago. Vietnam's story, while different, follows a similar pattern. Over the last 2 decades, Vietnam has become one of Asia's fastest-growing economies, quietly building a powerful manufacturing base and attracting global investment. Despite this massive growth, many analysts have argued for years that the Vietnamese Dong has remained undervalued compared to the country's economic output. Vietnam has transformed into a major production hub, built a modern digital banking system, and shown consistent economic discipline that global institutions respect. So the fact that reports of potential rate changes for the Dong are appearing at the same time as the dinar has really caught people's attention. Analysts are suggesting this timing isn't random. Some believe this could be part of a coordinated economic move, something regional, maybe even something designed to bring more balance across emerging markets in Asia and the Middle East. That synchronicity is what many people find the most interesting about the whole situation. This is where things get even more specific. Based on various first-hand accounts and a steady stream of insider-style reports, both the dinar and the dong are supposedly showing new numbers in internal rate systems, numbers that are far higher than what many expected. These aren't official public rates yet, but rather numbers that have reportedly appeared during internal testing phases or banking screen updates. And that alone has caused a major reaction in communities that monitor these currencies daily. According to what's being shared, the dinar in some early tests has been spotted anywhere between the upper 300s to low 400s. The dong has reportedly been seen in a range that also breaks past historical expectations. These figures are unverified, but the simple fact that people are even discussing such drastic changes is huge. If anything close to those numbers were to go public, the impact on both countries' economies would be immediate and massive. So why now? What changed after all these years? Why are these reports appearing at this moment? The most common answer analysts give is a single word: readiness. Iraq has finally completed the system's international partnerships, and internal reforms needed to support a stable, globally traded currency. Earlier this year, Iraq officially activated its new digital banking network, a huge upgrade that linked all local banks with major global systems like SWIFT and Visa. This wasn't just a tech update, it was a major milestone, putting Iraq on the same financial grid as modern economies. It gives Iraq the ability to send and receive secure global payments instantly. This upgrade alone is being viewed as one of the key foundations that could support any future currency change. It shows Iraq isn't just talking about modernization, it's actually doing it. What's gotten even more attention lately is Iraq's openness about its financial goals. In recent public interviews, the country's top financial officials have talked openly about monetary reform, rebuilding global confidence, and preparing for international balance, topics that weren't discussed so candidly in previous years. This isn't being seen as empty talk. This is being viewed as the language of a government signaling it is ready to step onto a larger global financial stage. The fact that these statements are being made publicly is important. It suggests the government feels confident in the progress it's made and in the country's readiness. This transparency itself is helping build confidence both inside Iraq and internationally. Vietnam, meanwhile, has taken a quieter route. Its progress has been steady, strategic, and mostly behind the scenes. The country has been strengthening its digital banking network across Asia, tightening compliance rules, improving its financial transparency, and updating regulations to meet global standards. None of this is flashy, but it's crucial. It means that if Vietnam does make adjustments to its currency, it will do so from a stable, globally respected foundation. Lately, conversations inside Vietnam about widening exchange rate bands have sparked speculation. When a central bank widens its range, it often points to preparation for a larger move. So when you combine everything: Vietnam's progress, Iraq's upgrades, and the timing, it's understandable why people feel something coordinated could be happening. Then we look at what's being reported inside global banking systems. Some observers have shared that major banks, including big U.S. institutions, are updating internal currency platforms. Unverified screenshots have also circulated showing the dinar and dong with new pending values. While none of this is confirmed, the idea that banks might be preparing for an update is what has caught so much attention. If these numbers eventually move from pending to live, everything could shift quickly. This is why so many people are glued to their phones and screens right now. The presence of pending rates, whether accurate or not, has been interpreted by many as a signal that something larger may be unfolding behind the scenes. With all this momentum, it's easy to get caught up in excitement. But this is also a time where patience is crucial. Big moments in currency reform come with lots of noise, lots of hype, and lots of misinformation. The people who do best in times like this are the ones who stay calm and move smart. For those who hold dinar or dong, this is a time to be organized. Keep notes safe, keep receipts ready, and make sure all exchanges in the future are done through legitimate, licensed financial institutions. One thing the community agrees on: nobody should be paying anyone for special access or priority exchanges. For real global change is coming, real banks will handle it properly. Scammers always show up during high-energy situations, so staying alert is key. Another important reminder people are sharing is not to rush. If a revaluation does happen, the early days may come with rate fluctuations as markets adjust. That's normal. The same patience that's kept this community going for years is what will help the most in a moment like this. The best thing anyone can do is follow confirmed updates, not rumors, not guesses. When the real information arrives, it will be public and clear. Let's zoom out for a moment and look at the human side of all of this. For many people, following the dinar and dong wasn't just an investment, it was hope. Hope that two countries that suffered through war, sanctions, and hardship would one day rise again. It's been 20 years of waiting, believing, and holding on through countless ups and downs. And now, for the first time, signs people hoped to see are reportedly beginning to show up, whether in system tests, government statements, or behind-the-scenes upgrades. For many, this feels like a moment of validation, a moment where all the patience and belief might finally pay off. That emotional side of the story is what makes this situation so powerful.